Welcome back to Legalise Vaping, a podcast by Legalise Vaping Australia. I'm Emilio Garcia, and I'm here with Brian Marlow, who heads the entire organization. How are you, Brian?
G'day.
Good day. Not that great, actually, because vaping is, as per usual, under attack. And recently, it was under attack by probably one of the worst organizations to have ever been created in the world. The World Health Organization. So, which is really just terrible. So, can you tell us a little bit about this?
I can't think of anything like in recent history that it's been like, it's good thing we had the World Health Organization. Like,
yeah.
They basically played a cover game for China when it came to for the CCP when it came to coronavirus.
Yeah.
They staunchly opposed vaping despite all of the evidence that shows all the benefits. On other issues, in like some African nations, they've basically tried to appease dictators and warlords in order to not offend them, and like run like education campaigns around like why bacon is bad for you, as opposed to
that's really probably the worst thing.
Them
covering up for an oppressive regime that helped start a pandemic is one thing. But running a campaign against bacon, that's really something else.
It should tell you everything you need to know about everyone at the World Health Organization is they don't like bacon.
And vaping.
And they don't like vaping, therefore they're not nice people.
Well, yeah, so on World No Tobacco Day, they went after vaping as well.
Yes.
Which is like, okay, if it's World No Tobacco Day, you're attacking the most effective way to end tobacco use.
This is the thing, like World No Tobacco Day, when it started, was for a good cause. It's like, hey, get off tobacco.
Yeah.
Right? Which is literally what 50 million vapors worldwide have done. But, it doesn't fit in with what the World Health Organization wants. So they feel the need to lash out at it and label it as a tobacco product. And, we've been over this numerous times. It's not a tobacco product. It doesn't have tobacco in it.
Right.
Even like the heated tobacco products that do, well, they're still less harmful, so
correct.
Who cares?
Yeah.
It's just...
They don't seem to grasp the concept that even if let's say that you're somewhat uncertain and we don't have like longitudinal studies because the use of vaping, is relatively new in the span of
we don't
history.
have, say, like a 30-year study, but we do know that it doesn't create the same chemicals.
But we do know that it's at least somewhat less harmful. I mean, the studies show it's at least 95% less harmful.
Yes.
But let's say it was 30% less harmful.
Isn't that still a net win? Like this is one of the arguments that you get from anti-vapors. They go, well, I don't believe that it's 95% less harmful. It's like, okay, let's say it's 10% less harmful.
Say it's
Isn't
1% less harmful.
You know what? Let's go to the extreme. Yeah, it's 1% less harmful. Isn't that already an argument as to why people should access it? It's like
positive.
Yeah, it's still a net positive, right?
Right. So basically, the World Health Organization is full of crap, and we should listen to little of what they say. Speaking of, this kind of ties in. 70,000 smokers in England apparently are quitting every single year using vaping.
Yeah, so those numbers are actually quite surprising because when we started this campaign out, it's a talking point we've used for a while, and now it tells me two things. One, we're wrong. But two, we're wrong in a good way in that we're initially saying that vaping was helping 20,000 people in the UK quit per year.
Right.
So we're almost 4 times wrong.
All right, sorry.
Sorry, we're wrong. It's actually much better.
Yes.
Well, maybe that'll be a media release. Legalise Vaping would like to apologise for misleading claim.
That'll open some.
All right, let's do that. After this podcast, I'll put together a little claim about that.
It's a great idea.
Media release.
Bearing false witness, but with a good purpose.
Yeah. Turns out we were wrong by a magnitude of almost 4. Vaping is significant.
It's much better.
Exactly. We apologise to everyone we've misled.
Oh man. So but I think New Zealand is seeing some good results as well. American vapors also are having huge success quitting smoking using vaping. I don't see exactly where, and I'm kind of getting off topic here, but I think this is a very relevant topic, where the idea that vaping can help people start smoking comes into play. So it's something basically called a gateway theory, right? And they say, well, if people start vaping, that can do one of two things. It can normalize kind of the process of putting something in your mouth, inhaling, and then blowing out something that looks kind of smoky. And 2, it can get people into nicotine. And then they'll say, oh, you know what else has nicotine? Cigarettes. So I'll start doing that. Are we seeing any of that? Because we're seeing only in the UK 70,000 people go from smoking to vaping. Are we seeing severe numbers of people?
Are we seeing 70,000 people go from vaping to smoking?
Are we seeing 7? I mean, I don't know that.
But that's my point. Like, it's like the argument for gateway is that it's a ramp onto smoking. It's like, well, then why are all these people going the other way? Right?
Correct.
It just doesn't stand to reason. And excluding Australia, you're going to you are using a product that doesn't kill you and can taste quite nice, and you can enjoy it, and you can get a different vape that's in a different style that you like. Yeah. And then someone goes, "Hey, Toots, why don't you sit down over here and try one of these Camel cigarettes?" And they taste it and they go, "This kind of tastes like bushfires and death."
Yeah, it's awful.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, it may taste like bushfires, Toots. And it may kill you, but thankfully it's really expensive.
Oh, no brainer.
Oh, no brainer. You had
throws out vape.
Yes, throws out delicious vape. Okay, done.
Start smoking. Yeah.
You had me at like inhaling murder. I'm in. Let's go.
Exactly. Well, and that kind of leads us to the point that it's just like our constant struggle with the health authorities here in Australia, which is everywhere else. Vaping, smoking rates going down.
Yeah.
Most of the developed world, people are smoking less.
Yeah.
In Australia, stagnating. The smoking rates just are not really going down.
Yeah. Well, they're shifting in areas that are statistically irrelevant. So like there's just statistical noise each year, and they go, "Oh, there's 0.25% movement here," and it's like, yeah, but that's for there's numerous reasons.
Sure, and like I understand that, for example, plain packaging, the one demographic that it's effective for is rich people with a lot of money. They will stop smoking.
Yeah, although also, without getting too deep into the world of plain packaging, because it's kind of boring, one interesting factoid is that actually all it really seems to have done is, let's say you went to your tobacconist and you used to buy a pack of, I don't know, Marlboros because you just like the design. Well, you didn't actually stop smoking. Plain packaging came in, and then you're looking at products that all look the same. So instead of buying, say, I don't know, a 20 pack of Marlboros, you ended up just buying for roughly the same price a 25 pack of another producer's cheaper cigarettes. So your cigarette consumption went up.
Right. And that's what happened with the general population. That's why there was a study out that said it seems plain packaging has encouraged more smoking.
The former health minister for France basically came out and said plain packaging has the opposite effect.
Right. With everyone except people who are a little bit more affluent, which is not where the crisis of smoking is concentrated anyway. So
a lot of these health authorities tend to be quite affluent, surprisingly enough.
Oh my God. You mean bureaucrats are wealthy and out of touch? You get out of this studio. How dare you?
Shock horror.
Let's get to what's happened to the TGA really quick, because we're running out of time if we want to play some of the interview that we did a little bit later on. But the TGA, once again, surprisingly, has done something.
Yeah, again, the TGA, it's like another, can I elect the TGA? The people that work there, who are they? Do I get to have a say in how they go about their jobs? No.
If they do something wrong, do we have a recourse to get rid of them?
Yeah, if they do something wrong, or if they just factually wrong about something, what recourse do we have to actually stop that? They're just faceless, nameless bureaucrats that basically, with the stroke of a pen, get to dictate how your life, exists.
Yeah.
And effectively, what they've done is there was an application. It was made by a tobacco company to have their. It's like a heated tobacco product.
Heat not burn is what they call it, correct?
Yeah. And effectively that's what it does. It heats a tobacco product. It doesn't burn it, so you don't get the carcinogens and the tar. It's less harmful than smoking. I don't know to what exact amount.
Yeah.
But it's less harmful than smoking. And they were basically saying that should be legalized. Our argument was, sure, you should legalize that, but you should also legalize all harm-reduced alternatives, including vaping and snus and everything else. And the TGA basically just did an interim decision and went, no, we're just not going to do it. And they made arguments. There was an argument in the response along the lines of them basically saying that comparing these products to traditional cigarettes is irrelevant. It's like, well, what do you want? Like, well,
they said something like it's too, like the scope is too small, right? Comparing it only to cigarettes. It's like,
yes.
Oh, but if you compare it to drinking water and eating goji berries.
Yeah, but that's not
that's way
they're like, look, it's too narrow to compare a smoking harm reduced alternative to smoking. Yeah. It's like, well, do you want me to repair it to fucking Vita gummies?
Exactly. Yeah, this heat not burn is worse for you than vitamin C.
I'm happy to admit that vaping is probably not better than Vita gummies.
Yes.
So, like, if you're out there having Vita gummies to fight off coronavirus, maybe don't switch to vaping. But like,
I wouldn't understand how you could even attempt to make that switch, but
no, I want that on the public record, which is Legalise Vaping does not endorse vaping over Vita gummies. But like, this is the thing though. It's like, what? So I can't compare something that mimics the act of smoking and doesn't fucking kill you.
Yeah.
With smoking,
right?
What are you talking about?
The thing that was invented to reduce the harm of this product can't be compared to the harm that this product does.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
That's too narrow. We need to compare it to oxygen, rest,
compare it to happy
love.
Thoughts. Compare it to the concept of like parental guidance.
And yeah, I mean, just we could riff on this for ages, but we won't because otherwise
why not
won't finish. We could go on this for hours, but I do want to play a little bit of the interview that we did last week. So we're gonna do that. And Brian, I guess I'll see you next week.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you next week. I think a lot of people, especially here in Sydney, New South Wales, will know about Everest Vape. But for those who don't, do you want to tell us a little bit about your business?
Sure can, mate. We are a vape shop located in Western Sydney. Mm-hmm. We pretty much cover the area down that way. Spread the word that vaping is safe and that vaping can help you quit. And yeah, mate, just trying to get as many smokers into the store as possible, to be honest.
Yeah, so you're based out in Western Sydney. When you look at like the demographics of smokers, they tend to be working class people. When you actually then overlay, and this is getting a bit nerd tier here, but when you overlay like maps of like cancer hotspots, it always correlates with where there's higher smoking rates naturally, and that sort of lands out in Western Sydney and a lot of the more working class areas. Do you find with the customer base that comes in through your shop? Can you sort of tell us a bit about their backgrounds? I know that with a lot of shops, you've got people that have been smoking for 20, 30 years, have tried quitting through other methods, and then they come through vaping either by accident or because someone's put them onto it.
True, yes. Well, I mean, at the start, 80% of our business was tradies, truck drivers, couriers. The working class. I was in construction myself for over 15 years. But as of late, we're getting in all walks of life. Oldies, tradies, everyone, mate, which is good. It seems like a lot more, not just a certain demographic. It looks like a lot more people are noticing that the benefits of vaping, and they want to come and learn about it.
Yeah, that's great. And obviously here at Legalise Vaping, we want to get this into the hands of as many smokers as possible. But it's hard because it's really heavily regulated in Australia, as I'm sure anyone who either vapes or sell vapes will be able to tell you. So one of the questions that I had for you is just how has it been for you trying to navigate all of these regulations that Australia has in place? So like, how have you adapted your business to be able to work in this regulatory environment?
Mate, high blood pressure and hair loss. That's just how stressful it is. It costs money. It takes time. It's forever changing. You need to stay on your toes. I mean, we have a good relationship with our health guy. He's just doing his job, but it's just such a grey area. No one knows exactly what's happening, how we're going to govern it. And it's different state to state, and mate, there is differences district to district. I mean, we've gone through all sorts of things to keep the how can I put it to keep the marketing side of vaping for our customers that come in store. We've had to jump through so many hoops, mate, so they have the best experience in store. Let's say that.